Welcome back to another episode of Unlimited Whitetail Hunting. I'm set up in west central Indiana. This is our almost first time hunting this property. About a month ago, a couple days after the season opened, Jonah and I were out here, and we hung a few tree stands, hung a few cameras. Well, we are in Indiana, ready to scout our new lease for the first time. What do we got, 40 acres here?
Yep, there's 39.5 or something like that.
About 40 acres here, and then another 40 acres about 2 miles from here. So 2 40-acre pieces. First time, we got corn out by the road. We got that woods back there, and I believe there's another field on the other side of the woods. Let's go see what we can find.
There's some big bucks here.
And a lot of big trees up in here. Look at that oak tree. Have not seen a single acorn yet. And that's a red oak. And there's a bunch of white oak. Right there's a white oak. Got him up right there. Eye DC2 solar panel on the back side of the tree. This is a new lease we just got with a friend of ours. He's hunting the south property. Jonah and I are hunting the north property as of this morning. Came in this morning, it was dark. I knew about where I wanted to go. On this side of the cornfield out here. Right down here, there's this great, we have the Wise Eye on there. There's been a lot of pictures on that. Right at first light and again in the evening. This corn was just picked about a week ago. And the deer really been using it since. As I was setting up in my tree, get my saddle set up, I was almost at the top. I was ready to put my platform on. There are 3 does that came out right outside the woods here in the corn. And they must have heard me. They blew a few times. And 2 ran that way, 1 ran that way. I couldn't see any antlers. I'm pretty sure they were does. But it was still before legal. The only deer I've seen so far, I would say they came from the neighbors, but I'm not sure. Came across from that direction. But they were pretty close. And I'm sure they didn't know exactly where I was, but they heard something and they knew something wasn't right. We're planning to hunt all week, so it should be a good week. First week in November. It's cool weather. We got like 38 degrees this morning, and it's gonna be a high of 50s or low 60s every day. Chance of rain on Friday, I believe. There's a buck out in the field, the other edge, heading this way. He's got his head down, I can't really see what he is. It's a decent buck, big body. I think it's a shooter. It's not a real young deer. He's coming. Smells it. Come on, big guy. He's gotta be just out of Dad's range right there. He's heading over to Jonah. Hopefully he can get him. Hopefully Jonah will get a shot. It was literally probably 35 yards over here on the outside edge, but there's no shot right there. If he would have came this way, I would have had a shot, or maybe 10 yards further, I would have had a shot. Out there, at about 45 yards, I almost had a shot, but then he turned and ran the other way. He definitely smelled me, or smelled something. I've got scent wicks out with doe urine on it, and there's one hanging right below my pack here. There's another one over there on a branch, and as soon as he hit that scent stream, he quit coming. Stood there for 5 minutes or whatever it was, and decided it's not safe. And he might have smelled me too, I don't know. Stood there smelling for forever. Then I think Jonah saw him, and I heard him rattle, and then as soon as he rattled, the buck ran over there. But then he turned and went the edge of the woods and went in. I'm sure he's gonna come in downwind of Jonah too. He's not stupid. That's definitely a mature buck.
It's a solid 8-pointer. I just hit the grunt. See if I can get his attention away from Dad, because it looks like he might smell it. this edge on down here. He crossed directly across the field over to Dad. But we just couldn't quite make it happen. Now he's headed down in that bottom. I'm guessing he's gonna go bed. Because it's... What time is it? 7:48. That's annoying. I think he would have kept coming right in here without those rattling antlers falling to the ground. I had him strapped to my backpack. Here, let me pull this camera out. Had him strapped right here. And this strap popped loose after I rattled to him when he was over there. Just couldn't do it. That's too bad. Maybe we'll get another chance tonight. I think he'll stay right in these woods. Possibly head over to the neighbors, but...
Well, just moved trees. I'm out here by the edge now. I really like this setup. I got a lot of cover right here, but almost too much cover. I'm gonna need to trim some branches in order to get decent shooting lanes. So I think we're gonna go out for lunch, and I'm gonna bring the pole saw, the trim saw in, and cut me a few shooting lanes so I can hunt. And this should be a good spot for tonight. I think the tractor just showed up on the field over here. Next neighbor over still has standing corn. And if I seen and heard correctly, a tractor with a wagon just showed up, so I'm assuming they're getting ready to harvest that corn this afternoon. So that should make the hunting even better tonight, hopefully. But also means we should be hunting all day. But forgot my snacks and I need to trim some shooting lanes, so I think we're gonna head out shortly and quickly grab a bite to eat and be back again quickly, hopefully. Well, they're definitely picking the neighbor's corn over here. So Junai's gonna keep hunting. I'm gonna head out to the truck, go to the house, and grab a bite to eat. Bring my pole saw back, trim some branches for Junai, trim some branches for me, and we're ready for the evening hunt. But I feel like there's a good chance they're gonna chase some deer out of this neighboring field. Jonah should be in the tree for sure, or somebody should be. But if I wouldn't have forgotten my snacks, I'd be in the tree too. But
So, it's midday right now. I'm looking straight into the sun with this camera, but I moved my setup down in the tree a little bit so I can see in the direction where that buck was this morning a little bit better, get some more shooting area, and I can shoot this corner a little better. So I am a little more in the open. I'm hoping that doesn't end up biting me, but maybe 13, 14 feet off the ground. It's really not that high, but I'm hoping it'll do the trick. I can definitely draw my bow a little better to shoot that way. This morning, with the way the tree is angled up here, I simply couldn't do it. I would have had to shoot around the back side of the tree, which is the wrong side with the saddle. So it is right now. It's 11:30. Dad is getting me some food for lunch, and the combine has already quit over there. I'm not sure if he's done. I can't really tell from here. Not sure if he's already done or if he just quit for lunch or something. I don't know. But I haven't seen any deer since that buck this morning, before 8 o'clock or whenever it was. Dad just sent me a voice message, so I'm gonna go listen to that. And he's bringing a pole saw to shoot, or to clear some shooting lanes for me. So
Seems to be quite an abundance of turkeys here. That's two more big gobblers. Just came out of that corner over there.
Well, I'm set up for the afternoon now. I got to the house. We got some lunch and went back out. I actually had a trail camera, a non-cell camera, over on the other property that was on a scrape, and we checked that. There were some nice bucks on that camera, but one mainly in daylight. The biggest one was only after dark. But Wayne has high hopes, so hopefully he'll get one tonight. We did move his tree stand about 30 yards-ish. He saw 4 deer this morning, and there was a faint deer trail where they were all on that came right to the base of his tree. And when they got there, they all spooked, they all smelled his tracks. So we moved his stand about 30 yards so they go behind him, and he's closer to the edge of the field. Then I came back to this property, went over to Jonah and trimmed some branches for him. Brought the pole trimmer. I came over here and trimmed some branches for myself. And then I hid the pole trimmer at the base of the tree under the leaves, so hopefully it won't spook a deer. But I'm set up on the edge of the field now. Still don't have great shooting lanes, but I got holes to shoot through.
He's just out of my range. Just ran off those does.
Shoot him, Johnny. No shot.
That's looked like a solid 8-pointer, and he's headed towards that corner of the field over there. He's coming back. Hang on, here he comes. Here he comes. Darn, that doe had to go that way. There's that hot doe out here. Very obviously. They're running in through the woods. I can hear them. They might come out right here. There you go. I think I drilled him. 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 I think I drilled him, boys. Listen. He was at 10 yards.
Well, that was crazy. There was 2 does and a little buck out here. Or a small to medium-sized buck. I was watching them. All of a sudden, a bigger buck was walking out in front of me, like probably 40 yards. And I didn't see him in time right through my shooting lane when I saw him. I was watching the other deer over here. So anyway, this bigger buck comes over to the does, chases them around a little bit, made a circle out in the field, goes over back into the woods, and comes back out right in front of Jonah, and he just smoked him. Or it looked like it. I saw him shoot. Well, I didn't see Jonah, but I saw the arrow hit the buck. I saw the light of knock in the buck. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it on camera because I got too many leaves in the way. But he definitely hit him, and he ran over into the woods. So I'm gonna stay sitting for a bit. Hopefully it was a good hit. It looked like it was.
So the sun's coming up now. Thought I'd give you a little recap of what happened. Let me get this thing turned down more. There we go. This morning, first light, there was a couple deer out here just coming out of that corner. I saw they were does. And I look over here towards my dad, who's sitting straight across the field from me. And I saw another deer. Brought the binos up. Saw it was a buck, and it looked like a good one. And I kept my eyes on it. I text Dad that there's a buck straight east of him, but he didn't see the messages. He wasn't on his phone. He was busy looking at these does, and that buck came straight in front of him at like 40 yards, but he didn't see him until he was past him because he was too busy watching the does. And then the buck came over here, started chasing the doe. Actually, two of the does came walking all the way over to like 50 yards from me. And he came over to these does. There's still one of them over in the corners. There's 3 does total, I think. And then these two over here, he kind of chased them off away from me. I grunted at him, but he heard it and ignored it completely and went after those does. One of the does was obviously a hot doe. And shortly after, one of the does stayed back in that corner to the east of me. And then the other doe ran across the field, middle of the field, like 70 yards from me. And he chased her into the woods, around and down here into the corner. Hang on, I see something. Went in the brush, whatever it was. I'm not sure if it was a deer or not. Something was moving in there. Anyway, that doe came running out. She took like a row of corn. Not really a trail, but where there used to be a row of corn at 20 yards. The perfect trail for him to take. But he took the edge and came right down at 10 yards. And didn't give me a broadside shot till right there. And even then he was quartering 2 pretty hard. But at 10 yards I figured I could probably weasel one through there. I don't like taking quartering 2 shots at all. But I put the pin right on him and I shot. And the arrow buried to the fletching, which tells me it almost certainly hit a bone. I'm pulling 75 pounds with a G5 dead meat. And that thing would have gone straight through if it wouldn't have hit bone. So I'm guessing it probably hit the offside shoulder. Or busted through the front shoulder. But he kind of ran over here and kind of slowed down and trotted into the woods, and then I heard him for a little ways into the woods, and then it went silent. I didn't hear him really crash or anything. About 2 minutes or so, maybe 3 minutes after I last heard him in the woods, I heard a lot of, I don't know, it sounded like crashing in there, but it wasn't that far away. So he might have just stood in the same spot for a couple minutes and then crashed. I'm not sure. I'm really hoping that's what happened. I think I got him. Pretty sure the shot was good enough to kill him. It's a steep angle. go straight down, and I'm not sure if I got any footage of him. The 360 cam is gonna be the only camera that maybe got it right here. This camera. But I don't know if you can even tell that there's a camera here. But it was kind of behind the tree for where the buck was, so I'm not sure if I got him or not on that camera. But we'll probably check the 360 cam footage and go and look at the shot. But we'll also probably go maybe just look for him right away without even looking at the shot, because I think he's dead.
No more deer. Let's go see if we can find Jonah's buck. Just smoked him, huh?
I hope so. I think so, according to the blood. He was standing right here. Look at all this blood right here.
Yeah, I see.
Look at that shot.
Wow. It's right there. But you don't know if you got the shot on video?
The 360 cam's the only one that might have between those two, the split in the tree.
Okay.
I rewatched the big camera footage. You can see him run out of here all the way over to about right there, but
Not the rest.
shot.
Did you get anything after he was?
I got a tiny bit on the big camera as he ran into the woods.
Gotcha. Where did he come from?
That corner.
Right in the corner.
I first saw him, he was 50 yards in the field already, walking from the corner this way, and then he went over there, stood in front of you for a bit, came over here at 50 yards, almost had a shot. I grunted at him.
I heard that.
He literally ignored it, went that way, chased the doe that way. I thought he was gonna take off and be gone. Next thing I know, doe comes running this way, runs in the woods right there. He just straight on her tail.
I seen that, and I was like, whoa.
And then I could hear him the whole time coming this way, so I was like, okay, he's coming out this corner again. Sure enough, doe comes right out of that corner. She ran about out there 20 yards.
Okay.
And he comes down this edge right here. I started bleeding at him like right there. Did like 3 times. He finally stopped. Right there. Quartering to me pretty hard, and I put it probably, I don't know, right in the shoulder, maybe a little bit in front of the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
The arrow didn't go all the way through, so I'm pretty sure it probably hit
seen
offside.
that. I saw the knot flashing.
I think it was into about that much sticking out still. Like, it
Gotcha.
definitely went all the way through on the other side. Should be an exit and an entry.
So, I saw him come out, and I was like, I'm gonna try to video this because I knew you were gonna get a shot. But my camera was lower, and it's right in. There's leaves there. I cannot. If I look over top, I had a hole that I could see this corner. But there was just too many leaves in the way to get a look with the camera.
Let's start going. This is where I first started seeing good blood. And I didn't go any further than that yet.
Well, I saw some.
Look at this.
Yeah. I saw some as I was walking over. Right there.
Oh wow, yeah.
That's good blood.
I'm pretty sure he'd be dead. I figured if I would have hit the heart, he would have probably been dead in the field.
Maybe. That's a big
He
buck.
was kind of trotting when he got to the woods. You see that? He wasn't running full tilt.
Not hard to see it. There's a bunch.
Pretty sure the arrow was still in him when he went in the woods.
Yeah, I saw the knock. The knock was on my side, so.
I could see it like whenever he went up and down, I could see it bobbing.
You got the blood? I don't see it in this. Oh, there it is. Lots of blood. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be far in the woods.
Sorry, slow down a bit. This must be where I heard him stop. 'Cause I heard him going here a little ways and then stop. But he's not laying here.
Interesting.
Like 2 minutes after he ran in the woods, I heard a lot of crashing in here. But it didn't really make sense. 2 whole minutes later, I hadn't heard anything walking or anything.
Yep.
My arrow. Looks like the knot broke. The arrow's still here. Look at that thing. He's bigger than I thought.
Yeah, he's nice.
That is a big body too. Yeah, the shot was just right there. It's about where I thought it was.
Nice buck.
I'm happy with that.
You don't think that's the one that was on the camera the other night?
Where?
Almost dark when all the deer were in the field.
That was a 10.
I thought that was an 8.
No.
The
that
one of them
the
was.
small little 10 that we're not gonna shoot.
Okay.
This one's way bigger than that one was.
Okay.
Frame and body wise. I could see from way over there. It was probably not even legal light when I first saw him. Because I shot at 6:59.
Yeah.
Or 6:57 maybe.
About 8 minutes after legal. I seen that.
And when I first saw him, I could already tell he had tall tines. And then when he stood in front of you, I saw it was an 8-pointer. And I was like, well, it's a big 8. I'm pretty sure it's the one that was down here last night.
Gotcha.
I haven't looked at that video that we requested yet. I just saw the picture. Well, guys, first Indiana buck ever, and this is the first buck I ever killed in the rut. This was an amazing sit this morning. I sat on the edge of the cornfield, same spot I sat yesterday. Had a nice encounter with a big 8-pointer yesterday morning, but never got a shot. We cleared some shooting lanes last night, or during the day yesterday, and was able to get this guy to come right into that shooting lane. 10-yard shot. Couldn't have gotten any better of a shot. Right into the front shoulder and behind the shoulder. I sliced the heart wide open, and it ran close to 100 yards. Was able to track him down with a good blood trail. G5 dead meat left a devastating trail, and it's gonna be a fun afternoon, fun rest of this week, just doe hunting now and getting to video my dad. So super blessed to get this one, and thank you guys for watching.
Well, we're set up for the afternoon of November 4th. Jonai and I are both in the same tree. This is the tree he shot his buck from this morning. Took his saddle off, put a double hang-on set in here. And we Got one camera set up, 2 bows. Jonah bought himself 2 doe tags. So, we see a buck, I'm up. If it's does, it's Jonah's turn. And I'll be videoing him. So, this seems to be the hottest corner of the cornfield. Let's see what happens. Let's go. That's cool. All's going off back and forth. 2 of them, at least 2 of them. I am so pumped. So Jonah is 18 years old. He's my oldest son. And we looked at who owns this property over here, and we've seen that it looks like the owners live just down the road. He stopped in there on the way out this afternoon, and it's an older lady. As he said, she was super nice. He asked for permission. She said somebody else used to hunt it. She's gonna ask him first if he's hunting this year, if he's okay if we bow hunt it at least. And she said she will let him know. She just called him and said we have permission for 4 hunters to hunt this piece of property this year. Bam! 18-year-old. So proud of Jonah. So that means I can hunt. I think it's 117 acres over here. Additionally, that's where all the deer are bedding right now. Whew. That's awesome. Now I gotta figure out where I want to be tomorrow. But it's almost 4 o'clock, so I don't think I'm gonna go over there tonight. But tomorrow morning I'll probably go over there. I know it's got some steep ravines and it's pretty thick in this area. But other than that, I have no idea. 117 acres is not all woods. There's some field out near the road, but there's a really nice chunk of woods right here.
We ended up hunting the rest of the week hard, so many does, small bucks. Had a great time, but unfortunately no other large bucks showed themselves for us. Wayne had an encounter one of the last evenings with a really nice 7-pointer, but did not quite get a shot. The buck ended up going out in front of a trail camera, and we got some videos of him, but he did not get a shot. Those next several days it was also very windy, and the deer did not seem to like to move in the wind. We had a great time, and we'll be back for rifle season.